Hello, my name is Andrea Trejo, and I will be presenting our research titled Risk of Childhood Lead Exposure and Health Outcomes in Los Angeles County. The contributing members are Daniel Ryan, Dr. Paul Robinson, and myself. The purpose of this research study is to assess disparities in risk of childhood lead exposure, to visualize and evaluate longitudinal census data, to assess potential health and social consequences of long-term lead exposure in LA County, and to persuade mitigating efforts to limit exposure to lead in vulnerable populations. Design methods. This is a retrospective study, which was conducted via secondary data analysis. Geospatial database was used using data provided by the California Department of Public Health. There was a total of 8 indicators that were used to measure the degree of lead exposure, which was residencies built before 1978, proximity to former lead emitting facility, proximity to state highways, proximity to small aircraft airports, proximity to railroads, proximity to speedway, and lastly, served by at least one known lead water user line or fitting. This chart here, on your far left, as you can see, the standard deviation is 1. From top to bottom, negative 2.5 means a 0 indicator, as opposed to 2.5 means 6 indicators. As you see, the population increases as the indicators increase as well. Percentage of non-Latino whites, you see the opposite linear trend. The greater the risk factor, the lesser the percentage of the population. And for the percent Latino, you see the opposite to that population. You see actually an increase in Latino percentage as the risk factors increase. This histogram here is just displaying the distribution of lead factors. You see that there is, on the y-axis, you see the number of tracks. On the x-axis, you see the total number of risk factors, and there's no more than 6. And this map here is visualizing the lead exposure risk in the Los Angeles County. The standard deviation as shown in the legend is 1/2, as blue being your 0 risk and the reddish orange being the greatest risk, which is 6. As you can see here, the inner city and downtown areas are darker red, most likely due to highways and older infrastructure. The coastal regions, as you can see here, the bluish and green, have the least amount of risk factors. And lastly, I wanted to mention that this is our preliminary research, and since the research is ongoing, in the near future, we hope to tie in a potential health risk of lead exposure like kidney disease, renal fibrosis, thrombosis, autism, cognitive development, and others. Thank you. And this concludes this video.